Hi and welcome to another Commands and Colors Ancients game here at Almost Solitaire. Well, we are lingering on at the 5th century still. I think this is the last one of this century, then we move to the 300s BC, of course. And well, we have reached a battle in the so-called Spartan hegemony grouping of battles, if you will, and well, this is called River Centrites or Centrites. I don't know really how to pronounce this, but I will go with a hard C. I hope you don't mind. So it's River Centrites for me, and as you can see, we have Spartan units and we have Armenian units. Actually, not only Armenian units, we have, I think the guys up here are Armenians. But as you can see here, we have some other Eastern army units on both flanks here on the southern side of the, or at least on this side of the river. And these are actually something called Carduchians or Cardusians or Carduchians or something like that. I think they are local people from modern day Turkey, Eastern Turkey, in the hillside people there. I think they are, when Alexander the Great were in this region, he solved the Gordian knot. This puzzle of this knot he did cut with his sword, and I think Gordian is the same. It has the same origin as these Carduchians or Carduchians, as we see here. So these places are somewhat in geography where we are. We are in eastern modern Turkey, in the very hilly, mountainous terrain here. And well, how come we have Spartan units in that far off region from Greece? Well, the thing is, just before this battle, we had a really big battle close to Babylon, which is known as the Battle of Cunaxa, and that was actually fought between two brothers, Persian brothers, about who should be the king of Persia, more or less. So we had one guy named Cyrus, and we had the king, I think it was Artaxerxes II, and those two did fight. And Cyrus, who wanted to overthrow his brother as the king, he had hired loads of, I don't know if he actually hired them or if the Spartans just supported Cyrus, but anyway, in Cyrus's army we had loads of Spartans. I think, yeah, it was the 10,000. So loads of Spartan hoplites fighting in that battle, and the Battle of Cunaxa, and they did really perform well there, at least according to Xenophon, who wrote about it later on. But Cyrus's faction did lose that battle anyway, so and Cyrus himself was killed actually in that battle when he charged his brother's lifeguard. And this meant that the Spartans close to Babylon don't belong to any army or faction there. So they were kind of asking leaders around if they could join them. They were pretty much rejected everywhere. So at one point they just decided, all right, we don't have any other choice than to do the long march back to Greek territory. So they started marching. It was of course a pain in the neck for the Persians, who really don't dare to attack them, because I mean these were, you know, Spartan hoplites after all, deadly units that was not that easy to kill. So what they did was more, you know, harassing them, picking stragglers, sending light units, often cavalry, to harass them and kill off some units here and there, and try to, you know, close their supply lines and roads to supply and so forth. So that was the general plan here. And also at one point they got a bit deceived, I mean the Spartans, which had the effect that their leaders were actually killed and I think beheaded, because they were captured during a feast. And so the Spartans had to elect new leaders for their army, and that was when Xenophon, who he wasn't really an army leader from the beginning, at least not in the Battle of Cunaxa, but now he and this guy Cherisophus, they got elected as the two commanders of the 10,000 who were marching home. And as I said, they were harassed all the time by the Armenians and Persians, and so they kind of developed an own defensive tactic using the same method. So they, as you can see, they also have quite a lot some light cavalry and light units here. So they screened off the enemy skirmishers with own skirmishers, so to speak, and by that they could march with the heavier units in a bit more safe way. They had screening troops, more or less. So at one point the Spartans reached this river Centrites. So when they reached that, the Armenians had deployed on the other side. This was a bit before he set up here, and the Spartans really needed to get over this river to continue the march towards the home. And this was a good place because there were loads of places to go over the river. We have let's see, you see many of these fords here where we can go over the river. So the Spartans did some feint moves and stuff like that, tried to lure the Armenians to move the other way, and at one point they succeeded. So Cherisophus with some hoplites and other troops were actually able to get a foothold on the other side of the river, which was good. So now Xenophon and the rest of the Spartans rushed to take advantage of that bridgehead and get over that river as fast as possible. And at that point the Carthaginians did attack before they were able to go over the river. And there was some skirmishing, of course, happening. And at one point then, actually when very many units were already over the river, Xenophon ordered some of his troops to do a halt and face about and attack the Carthaginians, and managed actually to get them to flee from the battlefield as well. So I think in the end it was kind of a success for the Xenophon Spartans here. So that's more or less what I know about this battle, and what I haven't read about these campaigns at minutes. I don't know so much about it. I read this text and I also checked something on the net on this, and well, not that much info, but there are some pages out there. So for the game then, let's check the war council as usually. So the Armenians, Carthaginians led by an unknown leader, have 5 command cards in normal gameplay. The Spartans, under Xenophon here, has 6 command cards and moves first. So for the command cards, I will go with my usual setup for my Solitaire games. 3 for the Spartans, 2 for the Armenians in this case. We'll fight the 7th banner, so this is quite a long story, I believe. And as you can see, we have some text here about some special rules, and let's just jump into that right away. And okay, so here's a rule about a sudden death of the game, so to speak, right? So if the Spartan player manages to get all his units across the river, so to that side of the river, with all units currently in play, they win instantly when it's their turn again. And I will not count the river as an okay hex for that victory. They need to be on the other side of the river, right? So the Armenians will get a chance to hit back and force some guys on the river again before they can claim that victory. And also note, the unit set doesn't have to be in full strength to count as the full units going, or the units being there. So they can be in any strength. Just every unit still in gameplay needs to go there. Okay, then we have some, because as we said, the setup is quite a mess here. We have the Spartans in the center, and all around them we have the Armenians. I will call everything the Armenians, I think. Even though we have the Karjukians here, or Gordians, or whatever. And so, the Armenians, which are the guys above river, they will evade and retreat towards the top of the map, okay? Just like usual scenario, or usual rules. The Karjukians below river retreat and evade at the bottom of the map. So these guys will go downwards, not upwards, when they retreat. And I think I will have a hard time to remember these things. I might just by old habit retreat those guys upwards, but I hope I can remember to retreat them towards the correct edge of the board. And that's not all, because the Spartans also have some special rules here. So Spartan units on both sides of the river must retreat and evade towards the river. A retreating or evading Spartan unit may not cross the river, but must stop when reaching the river or on a river ford hex. And 1 block must be removed for each hex or retreat movement that the unit cannot complete. So the Spartan units don't have any edge towards their retreat to, but they have the river as their retreat target, if we can use that terminology. So wherever they're placed, they need to go towards the river when they receive flags. And if they are on the river and cannot retreat more, or on a ford, or if they have their back against the river and cannot retreat anymore, they will start losing blocks for each flag they cannot do the retreat movement for. I think that was clear. It's somewhat clear to me at least, and I'm sure there might be some questions. One thing is, of course, the Persian side here, the Armenian side. What happens if a guy from this side of the river ends up on north of the river? Well, maybe those guys... Okay, let's say this. I will play it like this. If a guy goes over the river and needs to retreat, then he will retreat northward or upwards. As long as they are on this side of the river, they will retreat at that point, no matter where they had their initial placement. I think that could ease a bit how I otherwise, I mean, it would be too confusing to remember. Okay, these guys started here, now they are there. They should retreat downwards because they are Cardusians. But that will be impossible to remember. So I will just go with a simple plan. Those guys there retreat upwards. Those guys down here retreat downwards. Easy enough. Okay, let's continue. We have some other rules here. A hoplite infantry will in effect. You know, we have 7 hoplite units in play. The river can treat us is impossible except the fort. So yeah, okay, that's fine. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8 fort hexes. And we have these special 5 block units, as I mentioned, and that's basically it. So let's take a look at the setup here. And also the forces, and then get back to a short battle plan. First of all, let's check what the Spartans have. So the guys that have already gone above the river, we have a bow unit there. I think that's the only bow unit these guys have in this battle. And there we have 2 hoplite units, Spartan hoplite units, with Cherisophus as the leader up there. So that's the bridgehead they have managed to get when the scenario starts. Then we have 2 clusters of Spartan forces here. We have Xenophon's troops, and then we have an unnamed leader here with a bit weaker force here, but anyway, we have 2 hoplite units there. We have actually 2 light cavalry here, and then some light infantry. Xenophon's force, and then we have 3 hoplite units here, all of those Spartans, and then we have some auxiliary up there. We have light units in the center, and then another auxiliary over there. So lot of good heavy troops here, but unfortunately I don't think we will see, you know, such heavy melee fighting here. So in this case it's more a burden for these guys that they have these heavy slow troops, because they want to get over the river fast. Okay, and for the Persians then, or Armenians, sorry. In this battle we don't really have any names of any leaders, so they have 3 leaders in the game, but all will be nameless. But let's start up here. We have a cavalry unit here, or not a unit, we could call it a brigade, perhaps. It's 3 units. We have 2 light cavalry towards the river, and then at the back we have a new unit that I haven't seen yet, at least not in my Solitaire games, and it's this light bow cavalry, and well, it basically works like a normal light cavalry, except that it has the bow capability. So instead of firing 2 hexes, it has a range of 3 hexes. Otherwise, I think it's more or less exactly as a light cavalry. They can evade, they retreat 4 hexes, they can go up to 4 hexes. If they move, they fire with 1 die. If they are stationary, they fire with 2 dice. And the same for melee combat. They battle with 2, don't hit with swords, etc. And then we have the big bunch of units up here, up in the hills here. And starting from there, we have some bow units. So we already have some guys in our range here. Then we have 2 medium heavy infantry. That's interesting. And then we have an auxiliary. We have some light infantry, more auxiliary, and then some warriors. There, so pretty heavy. I mean, these guys are quite capable of even doing a melee if needed, right? They have, if counting that medium, that warrior, we have 3 medium infantry units up here, and also 2 auxiliaries, so I think we have some power up there. If we go to our right hand side here, we have 2 slinger units on those mountain hexes. We have another warrior, an auxiliary, and then a leader back here. Again, we cannot match these guys in melee, so I think we're gonna stay put here, but we have that warrior and we have an auxiliary as well, so we could bite if we wanted from here. And it's kind of a same setup over here, a bit more heavy. We have some what's called light bow there, and then we have warriors, and here we have a medium heavy infantry actually, along with that leader, and then some auxiliary back here and another bow unit here. So, interesting setup, or what do you think? So, what to do then? Who should we start with? I think we do the planning for the Spartans first, because the thing is, we want to get the nicest thing to win this battle would be that sudden death victory. I mean, trying to get those 7 banners against an enemy who's gonna invade a lot and just skirmish us. That's not maybe even not possible, but at least it will be very hard to win by that, because they can just run around and fire on and wear us down. Of course they have some melee troops we could engage with and probably get a few banners, but I'm not sure we could win that battle with that, because when we are battling that melee battle, they will at the same time get showered with missiles. So I'm not sure, to be honest here. So I think the plan is to get those guys over there. And as you can remember in the special rules, what counts is the guys who are on the board, right? So here's what I'm thinking. I think I will dispatch maybe 1 or 2 units from that force and move towards the enemy. The rest will go towards the river and try to cross it, because I want to keep these guys at bay, and at the same time I will try to engage them in melee. Maybe with a bit of luck I could get a banner, but I think that's not going to be that important. But the important thing is that I keep them at bay, and actually even hoping that they will get eventually killed here, because then I don't have to worry about those guys to get them over the river. It's only the guys who are on the board that counts. So if those guys die, fine. I don't need to worry about them. I just need to get the guys that are already crossing over to that side and win by that. Same goes here. So I just want to get some guys engaging the Armenians or Carduchians here, and then get the rest over the river. And these guys then, well, they need to stay put. It will be difficult because we have loads of skirmishing happening from here, and also we have some troops that could engage us in melee, and it could be heavy fighting to keep those guys here, especially when we can't really be supported that easy. I mean, we need to get some guys up on the river as fast as possible, so we get more support over here, so we don't have to retreat that easily. So that's my plan. And who the units will be to go here, that's a good question. I think, I mean, it's really not doesn't matter that the units can move fast to go over the river, because you know when we enter the river we will anyway need to stop. So I mean, crossing a river is as fast with a hoplite unit as a light cavalry, right? So of course we could do some hit with the light cavalry, and if they die, fine. If they don't, they can quickly get again back to that river and get over it. So maybe I will attach some lighter troops to the attack detachments, but also it would be nice to get some heavier guys there to really hit those guys hard as well. So I might do something in between, one heavier and one lighter guy attacking, and then the rest will move. Okay, enough of that. So that's the general battle plan. Then of course the cards might change the plans as usually. Now for the Armenians then, well, our primary concern is of course we want to hinder, like in history, those guys from getting over that river. That's the thing. And we have loads and loads of skirmishes in this battle, and then some okay striking force where we can kill off units when needed. But as you can see, we have bow units, we have slingers, more bows, light infantry, auxiliaries, light cavalry, light bow cavalry, whatever. We have so much troops that can skirmish and hit those guys. So we need to buy some time and do some hit and run. And one pattern I see that I could do from each and every corner right now is, let's say like this. If we start here, we have two bow units that can reach, for instance, that hoplite unit there. So we could start firing at those guys, hoping to get one or two blocks down, and if I do, I might sacrifice my warriors to do the rush in and battle and maybe even wipe that guy out, and that would be nice, because as the Armenian side, we need to get those 7 banners. We have no other way to win this battle. We need to kill Spartans. That's the thing. So we cannot just back up and back up. We need to do some damage. So fire away, and if we get some blocks down, and it needs to be focus fire, then hit with the warriors, maybe back up with some medium heavy infantry if needed. But that guy's crucial, because they can go 2 hexes and battle, you know, so they are really good striking force. I mean, as long as they are in full strength, we battle with 4 dice, so that's a good thing. And here, you know, we have the same situation here. We have slingers who can reach the enemy, and then we have a warrior who can rush in and do the dirty job at the end, right? Finishing off those units. Maybe we could get that leader with us. It's a bit dangerous because that's a banner, of course. Up here, same thing. We have skirmishers who can hit the enemy. And then we have the warrior who can reach, for instance, that unit right now and hopefully give them a good blow. And I think actually I will step up with these guys at least one hex forward, so I can get the medium heavy infantry to striking range and attack when needed. Yeah, that will be the plan. So hit and run. I mean, if I can hit with the warriors and then later go back again, I'm happy with that if those guys survive, because then they can use that tactic once again later on. So by that, I think we have talked about this setup and battle long enough, and it's time to begin play. Let's start. It's the Spartans who go first. Okay, so here we have the Spartan initial hand. So they have a Class of shields, they have a rally. Good. And 2 units center. Well, these 2 cards are of course totally out of reach now. We cannot, well, we can play them, but why should we? So of course it will be order 2 units center then. And let's see. How can we implement our plan with only 2 units activated in the center? Maybe we should... Well, just... Maybe we should decide first who should do the screening attacks and who should try to get over the river. I think on this side I will do the screening with those 2 guys. That's the plan. Trying to get these 4 guys over. We have loads of places to go over here, so so that's good. Over here I think I will detach. Really hard to decide actually. I think I will detach at least 1 cavalry and maybe something else here, or maybe the 2 cavalry units to harass those guys and try to get over the other guys here. Yeah, I think I'll do that. So I could basically already start off with a cavalry action here. Or we could start moving up some guys on the river, or maybe even do some shifting with those troops so we can give room to the guys who are gonna go over here, because they are guys kind of blocking my way over the river now. Yeah. I think I will do the plan that I'll move away some guys here to give room for these guys later on. I'm also thinking, you know, I have 2 really good cards. If I get into battle here, I'm pretty fine. So I will actually activate the hoplites here first. I will start preparing for the movement across the river. So these guys moves just forward like that, and they can now actually battle. And you know, uphill we only have 2 dice, but we have the leader with us. So the question is, if we attack from here to there, should we evade as the Persians, or should we just stand there and fight back with 2 dice? Because we don't hit with the... No, I think we're gonna evade. And the Spartans will then roll 2 dice and hit with greens. Nothing there, so it was a successful evade. The second one is a bit more... I mean, we can hit back with 3 dice against those Spartans. So I will... And actually I cannot even evade with its auxiliary, right? So here's a plain battle going on, but Spartans only get 2 dice, but they have... Now they hit with also with the leaders, and this means we got 1 hit. Pretty good, pretty good. And the auxiliaries fight back downhill, and they got 1 and 2 hits on us. Ouch. That hurt a bit, to be honest. And we also need to check For little loss. Oh, it's fine. Alright then. I don't know if this was made sense, but at least we can now get more guys over that. We need more, you know, big activations here. Not these two in the center. That's not enough as the Spartan player. So now it's the Armenian. Let's see if they can put their plan in effect. And alright, align command. The counterattack would be two guys in the center, not that cool, so I think we go with the line command. And we can even be bold here now and do an attack on those Spartans that were too bold there, I think. So I'll play the line command up there. So we will get loads of things happening here now, I think. Like that. So the warriors will actually now rush down here. I will also move up the auxiliary there. The medium heavy infantry there. Let's move the light to the flank in case. Let's keep it activated in case it can fire. Okay, these guys cannot now retreat, but you know, they can now ignore two flags, one for being supporting and one for being a warrior in full strength, so I'll just keep it there. I mean, I'll move the lights here to also to be able to meet some opposition that will come eventually up here. And these guys will also move. They cannot battle though. And I think I'll leave. Or should I maybe move up that bow unit as well? I have a reach against... sorry, it was a line command. This is one thing I very often forget, and I'm happy I come to think about it now, because these lights, you know, line command, you can only move one hex. I had done this mistake previously, so alright. Well, I guess in that case I leave them here in support. There will be a support job here instead. Yeah, I will not move them. So for the bow units, I think I'll step down from the hill, because now I can reach the whole river all the way to this hex, so I can put fire on these 4 fort hexes right away from there. Alright, that's it. So for the battle then, we'll start with some bow fire, and let's just put some fire on that enemy bow there. It's 1 die because we moved, and that's a miss. We could also have reached already that guy, but I think the main plan now is to try to push back as many as possible on the other side of the river. Okay, and now for the main attacks, and we have loads of them coming actually. Here we go. Let's start from here to here. My hope is if I get one flag, I force those guys to retreat, then I can follow up and maybe attack there, and we can get that leader unit. That would be totally so awesome. But we need one flag for that. We got 4 dice. Let's see. No, we got 3 dice because we are attacking downhill. And we got that flag. and this is really good because these guys need to retreat, and now we can step down and do a bonus attack, and now we have the 4th die added to the roll because we are on plain ground now. And well, of course I could attack those guys again. I mean, we have 3 units attacking that. That should be enough. I mean, if each of them gets 1 hit, this is done. So I think I'll count on those guys that they do the job. So let's continue attacking those retreating hoplites instead. It's 4 dice. And we inflicted 2 hits. It's a good battle here from the Armenians. They fight back with 4 dice. And they have no leader, but still they also got 2 hits on us because we are mediums. Really bloody here from the beginning. Not much skirmishing that I was thinking of doing. It's an aggressive Armenian player here. So let's see for that leader if he survived this onslaught. He did. So heavy casualties on both sides there. But now for the important part here. The question is who should attack first. There's some pro and cons in the 2 decisions I have inside my head. Now I could go with these guys first. The good thing is that I can get the leader bonus. It's only 3 dice, but I get the leader bonus in that attack. That would be nice. Other thing would be to attack with the warriors first, because then I get 4 dice, no leader bonus, and if I get that retreat flag on those guys, they could still throw the javelins. But if it retreats from this attack, from there, the warriors cannot then engage in the battle. Well. Hard to decide, actually. There's also a risk if I do the warrior thing first and they don't retreat, because they can ignore 1 flag, remember, then they will hit back and probably hit me, and then I have lost my warrior special ability. So with that extra die and extra flag, so I will keep it. I probably will need that unit later when there are more Spartans coming this way. So I'll start with the auxilia up there. It's 3 dice, and we hit with leader symbols. And that was the ultimate roll for an auxilia. 3 hits. So this whole hoplite unit goes down with a bang, giving the Armenians their first banner. And we also need to check the fate of the leader. Cherisophos was his name, yeah. And he's fine, so he can now retreat 3 hexes. And I think it's fine, he don't need to stop here now, so he will actually attach with that hoplite unit. Okay, so the other guys cannot of course attack, but I'm very happy with the result seeing from the Armenian eyes. So these guys are in heavy pressure here now, and the first banner already dealt. So Spartans really need to do some good stuff here now, and let's see what they got. Too bad the leader also got away, and his unit got eliminated, because otherwise we could have played this rally now. Okay, the card we got in our hand was not a good one. That will only give us one unit to order. Oh my, this is bad. These I really don't think I want to play, because I can only activate 1 unit with that right now. and the rally don't make any sense right now. Difficult. We could of course play the order heavy troops and do the attack, try to press those. We could even get those and even a leader with a bit of luck. Maybe I'd do that. This is not going the way I was thinking as the Spartan plan, because I already got engaged in heavy fighting there with heavy losses. But let's see if we can inflict some losses on the enemy now as well. So that will be the card I play, and that will be that hoplite unit doing a counterattack against those medium infantry who stepped out from the line and attacks. So it's 4 dice, we need 2 hits. We got loads of the hits, so these guys are eliminated. We get the Spartan first banner. And now it's time to check if the Armenian leader survives this. He did, so he will just go back and attach with that Auxilia. Okay, that was that. So let's hope the Spartans get a better card so they can get their plan going next turn. So it's the Armenians then. Counterattack, meaning heavy troops, makes no sense. Medium troops, yes, we have quite a lot of them actually. But yeah, I mean the counterattack I will of course not play now, so it's with the medium troops. And I can see that we could, with a bit of luck, get that guy now. So we can activate up to 5 mediums. I will activate those guys, I will activate those guys. Now the question is, should we activate any other medium here? Oh my. Well, it looks like the gods are smiling upon us today. If you take in account what happened up there for the Armenians. So we're going to be bold enough to do an attack here as well. I will show you what I'm going to do in a moment. And we could activate one more guy. And that could be, of course, that warrior. But I will stay put on this. These are not supported enough. I could, of course, move back 1 hex and attach with a leader. Maybe that makes sense. I still can reach some enemy here. Yeah, let's do that. So I'll activate that too. That will be 5 units. That's my maximum. So I'll do this. I'll attach with the leader. Going fetch that leader. Now it's time for battle, they say. And here, okay. This might be a very bold move, but here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do this warrior rush over here. And I will also move these guys forward. So let's keep them activated. And, you know, at least I get the warrior attack with the leader bonus here. And it's 4 dice, so we could inflict some heavy damage here. And here, of course, I will try to get that unit now. And here again, the warriors will move 2 hexes because they can attack. And those also got the leader bonus. So I think these guys are in a bad situation now. Okay, it's time to do the battle. Let's start down here. We have 4 dice and leaders hit. They can ignore 2 flags. And I think it was worth it. We got in 3 hits here. Bang! The Spartan hoplites are really taking a big hit here. Let's see if Xenophon is okay. Well, barely. He was included in a really heavy fighting here, so he almost fell. course, the Spartans will hit back at those warriors now. I think they can be badly beaten now. Yep, they got 2 hits, but since they started with full strength, they can ignore that flag if they want to. Otherwise, they would need to retreat. Let's see, I'm not sure. Is it 1 or 2 hexes for warriors? Here we go. Okay, 2 hexes. So in that case, they would need to retreat down here. Maybe that's not good when they took 2 hits. Maybe they have done their primal job now. So first 2 hits like that, and then I'll take that flag and go down here. I think it was worth it, because now these guys are heavily reduced. Slippery blocks. These guys can of course not battle then, so probably not anyway. If these have been need to retreat, they will go that way, so avoiding those guys of course. But anyway, that's the situation. And up here I think we're gonna see the doom of those guys now. I will start with the warriors because I have leader support for them. 1 flag is enough to avoid that battle back. And this is going really good for the Armenians. 3 hits in, so 3 blocks, and that spells the end for that hoplite unit actually, giving the Armenians their 2nd banner. And you know what? These are warriors, so they can actually go in and battle once more. But the question is, do I want to do it? Because I can anyway battle with those guys. And these guys will of course evade. So I will not do that momentum, which I think is very rare when it comes to warriors, right? They just continue with a fierce attack. But this time the leader was able to stop them and halt them there and let the regular medium infantry do the job. So they will attack the bow unit, who will evade towards here, I think. Yep. But I'm still gonna roll those 4 dice, and any greens will hit me. And that's 1. So 1 of these bow units down as well now. And this is going totally so good for the Armenians. And they are kind of using Spartan tactics here, right? Going in there and get the gore going, not skirmishing. Okay, Spartans, what can you do, guys? Should we maybe rally back those hoplites there? Oh my, this is not of any good. We could start moving up with 3 units there. That's also very tempting. It's a bit, it feels like a waste of playing that again. Playing that because you only can affect 1 unit. On the other hand, we are close to lose this unit. And I mean, I cannot afford to lose another hoplite unit. We have lost 2 of them. The whole bridgehead there is now gone. This is really going bad in that sense. So I might even consider to play this card now. Oh my. This is tough, guys. Really tough for the Spartans. Maybe this will spell the end of the 10,000, right? Are they able to get home? I don't know. I'm really. I think I'll play this. It's too important. I need to get those guys back into shape, so I can roll 6 dice. And I wish for blues and I wish for leaders. We got 1 and 2 guys back. I think it's fair enough. We have regained some strength. Some of the units routing is getting back into line. And what's more, I have now, I can use that unit, and I will use that unit for being one of the screeners here, because now I want to hit those darn Cardusians here. Should we kill that unit off, or should we get that medium infantry? I think I go for the medium infantry. I'm not really interested in you know, plucking the banners here. I want to get my guys off the river. That's my main plan, right? So I will just move these guys one and attack those medium heavy infantry there. Trying to reduce those guys. It's 4 dice. And that was a good hit. 3 hits in. So I believe it was kind of worth it. And let's see if the leader survived. He did, barely. So they can now hit back with 4. And well. 3 hits there too. And the flag. Let's see if the flag needs to be taken by the leader loss. No. So I can take the flag, which would put me there, or just be here. Oh guys, this is so hard for the Spartans now. I'll take the flag. I go up there. Crazy. Okay. It's the Armenians, and they are really controlling this battle. They have the momentum here now. They can do the counterattack, meaning rally, but well, maybe we should rally now. I mean, look at this. We could rally back our warriors, and that could be really tough. Or we had the light troops, so we have a good skirmishing coming up as well if you want to. But you know what, I think I'll go for the counterattack and play the rally now. So I'll roll 5 dice and hoping for blue and leaders. We got 2 blue and 2 leaders. We are rolling so good here. So what I will do, so could leader, let's do it like this. So 2 blues, that would give us the warrior units to get back that in full strength. And remember, these guys are now activated, and they can move too if they can reach an enemy. And then 2 more units, and that will be medium infantry to this unit. So suddenly, from the mountains, the men are pouring back to the lines, and well, what can we say? They are thrashing the Spartans now, because these 2, as I said, will of course move. And I will go there, and I will go there. My plan is, if I can get that unit with the medium infantry, I can continue attacking there. They cannot retreat. Then, when these guys have lost their support here, hopefully, the warriors can hit and maybe force them to retreat and hit again, because they had the momentum advance as well. Really efficient troops. So let's start here. It's 4 dice, and you know, I need 1 hit. We got it easily. So another hoplite unit is gone. Crazy. We got the Armenian 3rd banner. Need to check the fate of the leader. And that's Xenophon himself, by the way. He's fine, so he can now retreat. And his retreat path is towards the river, so he needs to go to the Auxilia here. The guys do follow and attack again. Against that Auxilia this time. So it's 4 dice. Or should we hit those hoplites? Because we can hit them twice now. Bad thing is, if I force them to retreat, these guys have no target, and I want to hit. So let's do it against that Auxilia anyway. It's 4 dice against that Auxilia that cannot retreat. They can now ignore 1 flag because they have Xenophon with them. Okay, and we roll like really good with Armenians. Now it's 3 hits, because remember these are Auxilia, so greens are hits. And again we need to check. Yeah, we need to check if Xenophon is a casualty. He isn't, so they will now fight back with 3 dice. And they didn't hit a thing. They got the flag though, but I think these guys will ignore it, to be honest. Yeah, they will ignore it. And now it's time for the warriors. Too bad we didn't. They are still supported, so they can ignore that 1 flag. That was kind of bad, but anyway, let's see what happens. We hit the leaders as well, remember? So again, a pretty good roll here. We got 3 of the 5 hoplite blocks here. It doesn't look good for the Spartans. They can of course hit back. They have leader support as well, remember? Well, 1 hit. Always something, because that at least makes these guys only attacking with 3 dice in the next turn. Next activation. Yeah. I mean, what a bloodshed. Okay, that was it. And you know, next time we could do a really good skirmish round. So let's give the Armenians their second card. And I think this video is long enough now, so I will upload this and continue. And what can we say? Well, we have pretty many losses on both sides, but as you can see, the Spartan hoplites have, I mean, I haven't seen that many Spartan hoplite casualties in such a short period in any battle, when we have, you know, had heavier opposition in a pitched battle. I mean, this should be a skirmish thing, but the Armenians and Carduchians have really fought well here, and lucky rolls, lucky cards and whatever. So I think this could be really dangerous and hard for the Spartans to win. But remember, as long as the Armenians don't get the 7th banner, it could actually be a good thing for the Spartans, because it's less troops for them to get over the river, right? So it's kind of good, but still, I mean, if we start losing too many units, we are so close to that 7th banner for the Armenians, so it will come eventually. I mean, it's hard to get all these guys over that river. We haven't, for now, not 1 single unit there, so well, that's how it looks. So let's see what happens. We haven't seen anything really happening here yet, other than the warriors eager to get into the fight with the leader leading them. So they went down here fetching the leader, and hopefully they can do a charge, seeing what happens over here. Maybe. No, there's a hill in between. But anyway, let's see what happens. We have lots of units not yet activated. I mean, we have that cavalry guys there. Maybe they can get in some skirmish fighting soon. Let's see. But for now, I thank you for watching, and I hope you will be back for part 2 of the river Centrites.
Bye for now.